All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Q&A with OK Student. You're here today with me, Mariana, Head of Advisors, and my dear new colleague.
Hello, my name is Karo. I'm from Nigeria, currently a student at Nottingham Trade University, where I'm studying management and business analytics postgraduate level. I'm currently doing my placement here at OK Student. I'm working as a new student advisor. Yeah.
Oh my God, Karo, you've been here for so little time, right? And you're immediately thrown into a live on Facebook.
I know, right?
It's been what, a week and a half, right?
Yes, a week and a half.
Of intense training.
Back to back,
We've been
It's so
talking
impactful.
We've been talking to all of our university partners. It's been great. We've been learning so much. I've been learning loads. Did you?
Same here, I've been learning so much from the different universities, all with key information about them. So it's been exciting. Yeah.
Exactly. But this isn't the first time that you've heard about this, right? Because you used
No.
to work as an education consultant.
Yes, I used to work as an education consultant back home in Nigeria. I've had about 3 years experience prior to my time now at OK Students.
It's perfect. So any student from Nigeria, I mean, you're here, please ask us some questions on the
Yeah.
live comments below. So Caro can answer. If you want to come to the UK and you're from Africa, you're from any other country, do ask us your questions. And we'll be talking today about the student experience, right? The international student experience and why students from African countries should come to the UK and study. So, Caro, do you want to say something about this to kick us off?
Oh, yes. Like I said, I'm a student now at NTU, so I think there's no better person to tell us about the student experience than myself. Yeah. Coming from Africa, I decided to come to do my master's here for certain reasons. First, I'm back home, I'm selling the UK market, telling students about the UK universities, and you get the question, okay, so which of the schools did you do your master's or your undergraduate? And I'm like, no,
Oh,
you know, all my life I've just studied back home. Then how come you know so much about these universities? Yeah, because we still get trainings from schools, we read articles and the rest of it. But there's always this difference with when you have the experience yourself, when you're in it. So I'm like, okay, before I go further, I need to take a time out to come and experience this whole UK university system myself. I can't be selling this out to students. I know all the benefits they stand to gain. Then I myself, I'm not going to gain from that. No, no, no. So that was part of the reason I just decided, yeah, this is the right time to come to the UK and get my master's degree.
that's fantastic. Oui. What, do we have some echo?
Oh, I can hear you loud and clear.
Let me check here. Oh, yeah, Martin is saying, oh, it's gone. That's great. Fantastic. So, yeah, that's exactly it. It's like having the student experience is so different. And I did my undergraduate here at Anglo-Ruskin University, which was a great experience in Cambridge, was there for 3 years. And honestly, if I'd worked as an education consultant before that, it would have been really so much more difficult. So I admire so much what you did with all of the trainings of the universities.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so good that you're here now. So what would you say are the main benefits for a student from Africa to come into the UK?
Okay, yeah, and there are numerous benefits for African students here in the UK, but I'm going to pick on some that are really, really important. Number one, the UK system is culturally diverse. You're away from home, but you don't come here to feel left out. You happen to study with people from multinational cultures, background. It's really exciting. I remember when I resumed late. The first time I went to Nottingham Trent Uni, I'm like, okay, let me see how it's gonna go. So many people, and they're all welcoming, loving. In fact, that university was one of the best choice I made. But I'm not talking about
That's
Nottingham
great.
Trent today. Oh yeah, you know, meeting people from diverse backgrounds, cultures, get to know how they work, how they operate. That is fantastic. And also, as a educational consultant, we always tell students, yeah, the standard of education in the UK, which we all know, is top notch. But it's different when you're saying it and when you experience it. Truly, it is a level of its own. It's much more than what I was expecting. In fact, I don't think they do enough justice to it. Everything they're telling you, you get here, you're coming here to see it yourself. Yeah, so which is fantastic. Then, like somebody from my own region, the time difference with the UK and back home in Nigeria, it's the same. So I still get enough time to call my loved ones. It's not like they're sleeping and I'm awake. you know, yeah. The only I think the weather initially I struggled with it a bit, but
Hmm.
yeah, you just dress up for it, then you're good to go. Yeah, so good facilities. The lecturers, the tutors are awesome. They are all there to listen to you. They don't just assume these people are from same background or they expect you to be on a particular level to discuss with you. No, they are always welcoming, ready to listen to you. It's fantastic. This is one good experience I've had. Yeah, and I'm proud I did this.
That's hello. Yeah. Are we okay? Because every once in a while I can hear myself when I speak like right after you've spoken. I think
Oh,
that like your microphone like turns off at a certain point and that's when I can speak.
okay.
So I'm just testing it out. That's exactly what I would say. It's like I mean, in terms of it being a welcoming country and welcoming universities, a lot of our universities have around 140 to 150 nationalities studying there currently. So you're gonna find someone from your country, I'm sure, and you're gonna
Definitely.
find and you're gonna find people from so many other countries. It's such a multinational place to be. And what you mentioned about student support, it's so true because you have so many ways of like that the university supports you, namely through student unions, through employability teams, through all of these things, through housing, all of it. Um, did you were you in any clubs and societies when you were
Well,
at
unfortunately, I was not, though I know they're all in NTU, but the employability team, I had to be with them closely. In fact, I got to see OK Student through NTU employability team. So imagine if I was not there, I wouldn't have seen this awesome opportunity. Yeah.
exactly, and it was such a good opportunity for a placement, right? And like a field
Oh,
that you know
yeah.
so well as well.
Yes.
Guys, don't forget, just to say this again for everyone who started listening to us now, you're here today with me, Mariana, and
Karo Itiveh, Student Advisor at OK Student.
Caro has just joined our team about a week and a half ago, and I decided to throw her into a live because I think we have lots to talk about African students coming into the UK. So if you have any questions about the student experience, if you're an African student who wants to come into the UK, do let us know. Send your questions below, or if you're looking to apply for a university in the UK for this year or for next year, just fill in the form at okstudent.co.uk/form, and one of our advisors will get into contact with you. So, Caro, beyond the societies and beyond the employability team, like there are so many resources for these students. I feel like one of the things that I really gained from even like being in the UK. And as a European, I was really privileged in this, where I could stay here and work after my degree always. So I heard there's a thing called post-study work visa for
Yes.
internationals now. Yeah, do you want to explain a bit about that?
Okay, yes, I'm going to do so. Okay, before now, as an international student, when you come into the UK to study, after the duration of your program, you just have about 4 months where you stay to wrap up your things and you're back to your country. Yeah, so that has been going. But it's so
Goodbye.
exciting now. Oh, yeah, you're back. But yeah, we have exciting news for all international students where after your master's degree, you're allowed to stay 2 years. That's a post-study visa. If you want to, you apply for it and you get 2 years additional visa to stay back in the UK. You're not paying fees, all right? You don't have to school anything. You're just allowed to work, live, settle down here. So it's exciting. It's a very good one. And another good thing about this post-study visa, you don't need to get a job before you apply for it. No. Whether you happen to get a job or not, but you want to remain here, you apply for your student visa. So I believe it's a very, very good one for all international students like myself. Yeah.
Oh man, it's such a good development, definitely, because it's so amazing that now international students can stay here and continue to work, post their courses, and can like even not work, right? Because it's guaranteed for all international students who
Guaranteed.
applied.
Yes.
Exactly. So we have here a question from Trish. Uh, was there a difference between Nigerian slash Africans teaching styles and the UK?
Oh dear. Yes, to be very honest with you, there's a big difference. I didn't mention one other experience I had in the UK, the UK side of academy. It really boosts your confidence as a student, you know. Most of our modules, we have seminars where each student gets to participate, you know. You come out, you speak in front of the class. I remember the first time we were going to do that. To be very truthful with you, yeah, I've been used to talking because I've been working as a consultant before now, but not in an academic setting. So the first time I was going to do that in my group, I was so scared and then like, what? What is this? Do I have to do this? But after the first time, subsequently, it was even exciting. It's something you look forward to doing. Then you have all the facilities readily available to you. Back home, yeah, some we don't really have some facilities are not in place for some students, or maybe the we have some limitation of things you can get. But here you're open to get everything to make your academic to make learning fantastic. So there's a huge difference back home and here. And I really encourage everybody that is willing to get this experience because it's something that would change your entire life. It's worth it. Yeah.
Definitely. There's there's something that people often say about the UK style of teaching of it being much more practical than everywhere else. And I think that's really related to the amount of resources we have as well. Like I studied media studies my entire like academic career, recently studied documentary journalism at NTU, and I've always had access to like top of the line computers, top of the line cameras, like studio equipment, everything I wanted. And this is definitely not something that would have happened in Portugal, for example. I wonder if this is like the case also in Nigeria or in like African universities where they're much more focused into the theoretical part of it.
Yeah, back home, you know, practical was like I think those that do more practical are those in the health line. Any other line, IT, media, theory. So, and that tends to get boring. But yeah, I saw some departments at NTU. You see all the facilities needed for the students. If you're in the media, you have all you need to make this learning enjoyable. So that's a big thumbs up for the UK system.
Exactly, exactly. And we just saw as well, like universities like Middlesex have like full labs, and universities like Brunel that have full mock courtrooms for students studying law. It's really just so impressive the amount of resources that these universities have. And then I feel on a staff level, there's also a lot of difference where what I felt the difference was in between academic systems, like comparing to Portugal to like the UK, is things like availability of staff, where you can go to the office hours of any professor here and you send them an email and they kind of reply to you instantaneously. If not, they take 24 hours. They're available to you. They're available to answer questions. And this is something that I really did not feel like in Portugal, that I didn't have the academic support or the lecturer support to actually invest and do my best possible work. Is this something that you have felt as well?
I relate so much with what you just said. You know, back home, I think the only time I was a bit close to a lecturer was during when I was writing my project in my final year. That's after spending 4 years in the university. You know, the support is really not there. You don't just go to a lecturer office that you want to see them. Even when you send them an email, it takes forever for them to get back to you. But over here at NTU, it's more like an open door policy. Provided the working hours, you're allowed to see your lecturers. You write them mails and they respond almost immediately. I'm like, wow, am I the only one in this class or what? And they have so many students, and I don't know how they do that, honestly. But it's a very, very, very good one.
Definitely. I feel like they have so much better like student to staff ratios, and that has a lot to do with it. And what you were saying about the universities here being much more challenging in that sort of in the sort of academics and being much more confidence creating in the end. I felt that a lot, where in like my first class of my undergraduate, I'm a very debate prone person. I like debating. It's one of my favorite things to do is debate politics or political issues. So on my first class ever, it was media and society or something like that, taught by this fantastic person that ended up being my supervisor for my thesis. His name was John White. Yeah, I got it wrong. He was the secondary supervisor for my thesis, not the first one. His name was John White, and he said something in class that I can't even remember, but it was completely wrong, but so wrong on so many levels. And I immediately picked a debate with him, just going like, that's wrong, and this is why that's wrong. And he like kept throwing it back at me, and we had a really nice conversation. And at the end of that, I was like, oh my God, this person's gonna hate me for the rest of their life. I should not have done that. And then by the next class, I was like his favorite student because I had like actually did what he wanted somebody to do.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely like the critical thinking that these universities force you to have, and the initiative and the proactivity is fantastic. Like I haven't had a single exam while I was an undergraduate at Anglia Ruskin, exactly because I was studying media studies. So it's much more assignment based and theory based, and like elaborate why this argument should be like this and this and this. And it ends up being so much better than, and you have so much support to do it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's been like an amazing experience. I feel what you said earlier about the weather is so real though. And
Yeah,
it's
it
like
is.
14 degrees now. What the hell?
You need to see me last year when I just resumed, because prior to that time I've been to the UK but only during summer. So I'm like, okay, no problem, it's fine. But when I resumed last year, I came in late. I came in October, first week in October. I couldn't even get up. I was like, what is this? So when I called my mom back home in Nigeria, I said, Mom, it's like I'm in a deep freezer. I don't know anything worse than that. And they're expecting me to walk like this. I can't. This is so much.
And like Nottingham as well is so cold.
Why? We say this, and we have this saying that people in the UK are always walking very fast. That's what we say back home. They're always running. And I get to see myself doing that. I said, I now understand why they walk this way. You can't be walking slowly in that cold weather.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. I have a series of friends, mainly Portuguese and Spanish from my undergraduate, that we used to say we're employing the Cambridge walk, which is just walking very, very fast through the snow so you don't like freeze.
Yeah.
It was a great technique. I loved it. But honestly, layer up, guys. If you're coming from a warm country to the UK, do not underestimate it. It's going to get really, really cold. I feel that one of the best things I bought on my undergraduate when I was here in Cambridge was an electric blanket.
Oh wow.
Uh, that made my life so much better. Honestly, I had it forever. I left it with a friend of mine then because he begged me to have the electric blanket. So just to like take advantage of it.
That will be so helpful for him.
Exactly. It was great. Caro, how, like, I have a question here because I've always been in like private accommodation instead of so private housing instead of university accommodation. Did you use NTU's accommodation or did you go into private housing?
I went for private housing. Yeah. But I think for most international students, if you want to get your accommodation, like I said, I resumed late, which I would not advise anybody to. The whole induction.
It's
I
not
missed
just the cold, guys, it's also the housing.
also the housing. Yeah, I missed out from all that where yeah. So I won't advise anybody coming to study in the UK to miss the induction week. That's very important. Yeah, I stayed in private housing. So for international students, yeah, most might want to look at university housing because it's really good. It's always close to the university. You're not spending on transport. Believe you me, every dime you get to save here is important. I spent so much shuttling down house to Nottingham Trent University. But there are also good private housing, I would say. So it all depends on you. Some individual want the space, they want the privacy, and yeah, your budget so plays a long way in the accommodation. So either you're going for the university accommodation or the private housing, it's fine. But I feel for undergraduates, maybe the university accommodation, yeah, should be more for them. I'm a postgraduate student, so I need my space. I went for private.
That's exactly what I that's exactly how I feel about that. So like if you're an undergraduate, it's your first year, you're living alone for the first time in your life as well. I feel like this is a really determinant factor to choose university accommodation because if something happens, they'll fix it. I've literally had students who burned down their kitchens and the university fixed it. If they were in private housing, I don't think that would have happened.
Definitely they have to pay for it themselves.
Exactly. And it was like I was just remembering this student, and this is actually a true story, that the student accidentally fell asleep and burned a part of his kitchen. So it was quite interesting to get that call in the morning, being a student advisor at the time, get that call in the morning from one of our universities going like, so one of your students burned down a part of our kitchen. Do you have any comments about this? But yeah, I feel that if you're a postgraduate student, because you've already lived alone, because you've already learned how to search for a house as well, I feel like this is the really important thing is like learning how to search for a house in itself is like a life skill. So I feel like in that sort of situation, it's much easier to go into private housing.
Yeah.
So we have a question here from Solomon, which is a really interesting question, actually. So how did you manage? Tell us all the secrets to deal with British accents.
Okay, I'm going to answer your question, Solomon, but I remember that was the first time I went to Scotland. I'm going to start from there. I went to university in Scotland through my former company. We went for agent visits. So in one of the program, the lady was a Scottish lady was talking to me. At the point, I'm like, please speak English. I know. And she was like, she said she's actually speaking in English. I'm like, no, this is not English. So she just smiled at me and like, yeah, she wanted me to hear the original Scottish English. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is not English. This can't be English. So she had to slow down for me. Then when we had some conference in the school, the question I asked, like, then how do students hear what you tell them with this Scottish English? And like, no, they are conscious of it. All the lecturers are groomed. They know the students are coming from diverse cultures. So they take time to speak slowly and clearly for everybody to hear. So that was from Scotland. So coming here now to Nottingham, I didn't struggle at all. The English here, it's almost same like what we have back home, except yeah, for some pronunciation. But when it comes to the academic setting in the school, I think all lecturers are aware. I don't know what they do, but I want to believe there are some trainings for that because you hear them all clearly and perfectly. They all take time to speak cautiously, to all students. Maybe randomly you're speaking with your friend outside school environment. Yeah, at times like, "Okay, excuse me, I didn't get that." It comes in once in a while, but I never experienced that in the school setting. So yeah, the British accent is not as bad as we think back home, except for the Scottish one, which is so strong. But you don't get that in the school setting. Believe me, they take their time to talk to you slowly so that everybody can flow. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. I feel like that's a great answer. Like when I came here for the first time to Anglia, I was more down south, and I feel like the accent gets like stronger and stronger as you go up north. So when I went to Nottingham, I did notice a bit of a difference. I was like, because I had never been in such a north-like context, so I did notice a bit of a difference. It took me about like a day or two, maybe, to like get accustomed to it. But it's definitely outside of like educational context. So when you're like in a social situation, or like when someone from the Midlands comes and talks to you, and you're like they're saying half the words are like weird things that I don't understand, but I can kind of like get context. Do you have any favorite words in British English?
Oh, I had to learn it in it, everything in it. Oh my goodness. They make any statement and in it. I'm like, okay, in it. I'm sorry, mate. Those are what I picked up first. Sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. Okay. And they don't have the T. Back home in Nigeria, we tend to pronounce all the alphabet in the letter. Like I want to say, let me get an example. Like Elizabeth. Elizabeth. You get the TH. And yet you just Elizabeth. Like, where is the T? It's not there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had a teacher of mine of English that would always oh man, it's amazing that you mentioned that actually, because that was such a struggle for me over the years. Because my English teacher in Portugal, he would always tell me like, put your tongue between your teeth. It's TH. You need to put your tongue between your teeth. You need to pronunciate it. And when I got to the UK is where I realized like nobody does that. Nobody is.
Nobody, it just disappears.
It's like honestly, we've been having all of these trainings with universities as well, and I feel like that's been terrible for me because each time, and like where are you living right now, for example? It's like it's very very odd how to pronounce like things like Leicester as in Leicester, or pronounce things like Greenwich as Greenwich and not as Greenwich.
Greenwich. Exactly. Where's the W, Greenwich? Then why is it there?
Loughborough, Loughborough, where
Loughborough.
it's like a whole word. Why is that whole word there?
Loughborough. Where,
It could just be like the smallest word. So, guys, don't forget, if you want to ask us any questions, ask us below. If you're interested in studying in the UK, you're still thinking of applying, or you've applied already and you have some questions, do fill in the form at okstudent.co.uk/form. And this is actually related to a question that we just got from Solomon as well, saying, I got an offer to study at Coventry. Can you tell me a little bit about the school? So I want to say, Solomon, we actually have an advisor studying at Coventry University. She's just finished her undergraduate degree. So if you want to fill in our form at okstudent.co.uk/form, we can try to see if you get contacted by that advisor specifically, so she can help you with a bit of Coventry information. Caro, do you know Coventry Uni? Do you want to share a bit about it?
Okay, yeah, Solomon, from your name, I guess you're from Nigeria, if you can hear me. Yeah, Coventry is a great university for international students. If we're back home, we'll be like, okay, this is our university. Yes, seriously, I have several students there, and from their feedback is amazing. You're going to have awesome support from the university. So just like Mariana said, please try to fill our form. Then we'll make sure our advisor at Coventry University get in touch with you to give you more information.
Awesome. We have a question as well from Joanna about the biggest cultural differences that you felt when you came to the UK. Ooh.
Okay, there are so many, but let me just pick the one that comes to the top of my head. Back home, yeah, I think we have the way we relate to those that are like elderly, those that are even just a bit older than us. We don't work on the first name basis. I had to learn that, yeah, even in the school, in the class setting. If you want to ask what I don't feel free to call my lecturer by first name like Mariana. Then okay, Carol, go ahead. No, I want to say, excuse me, ma, excuse me, sir. But no, they don't want that. Yeah. In fact, I got to know that offends some persons. So I had to deliberately starting to learn, okay, this is a new environment. You have to remove that. You're walking up, maybe I'm going to a store or something, I miss my way and I see somebody, sorry, sir. No, not sir. They tell you that and they let you know their name. I'm like, oh goodness me, I'm not used to this first name basis here. Everybody wants you to relate with them on the first by your first name. But back home, if you do that, it tends to be termed disrespectful. So that was one big difference, yeah, with the UK and what we have in Nigeria.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. And we have literally Trish saying like I could co-sign that. So it's definitely a thing. Yeah, I feel like deference to authority, especially in like academic context, just does not exist here. It's so strange where it's like first name basis for everyone. I fully like agree as well. I want to say thank you to everyone who's commenting and asking us questions. If you have any questions, don't forget, just comment below or send us your form, your filled in form via okstudent.co.uk/form. Or you can also send us an email at okstudent.co.uk. I'm not saying com this time, but I am saying info dot. We have another question from Solomon that is really interesting, actually, asking if you experienced any form of racism here.
Okay, to be very honest with you, I've not experienced that, and I hope I don't get to experience it. Yeah, I've not. And I think I don't know, I can't speak for all region in the UK, but I shuttle within Leicester and Nottingham. I this is so culturally diverse. At times I get to, am I really in the UK? Because you're seeing people from different races everywhere, you know. So I've never experienced any form of racism, and I hope I don't.
That's great. I'm really happy with that because that's one of the things that I felt when I lived in Nottingham is definitely the cultural diversity and the ethnic diversity is enormous in cities of the Midlands. Much more, I would say, than cities of the South. Because I do notice a really big difference. I'm now based in Bristol, and there is a really big difference in like the population in general tends to be much more white, much more middle class, instead of like in Nottingham, where if you're like, even in the city center, it's so much more culturally diverse and it's so much more ethnically diverse. And even we've had so many conversations with our South Asian advisors about religious tolerance and religious integration at NTU and in all of the universities in the UK, to be honest. And it's so interesting to see all of that because I feel that if you are in a city, and like again, I'm white, so I can't really talk about this, but I feel that if you are in a university context or in a university city, it's a bit less rare or more rare that you'll feel this sort of thing. Is this right?
Yes, there's zero tolerance to racism in the university. You don't. So I believe in this setting, you can't feel that. Very probably outside the uni, some persons might, but in the university settings, zero tolerance to that. So there's no way you will experience any form of racism, not from the staff, not from the non-academic staff or the students. No, you don't get to see that.
Exactly.
If at all it happens and you report such case, it's going to be taken up by
That's
the.
what I was. That's exactly what I was going to ask. Is there a way of reporting those cases in universities in case they happen?
Yes, there is. If you go to, I'm sure all universities have it on the support system centers. They have it on the website. So whenever it happens, you have the right authority to report it to, and it's going to be taken up. They don't play with such. It's going to be taken
Exactly.
seriously. Yeah.
Exactly. And like I think that if you don't want to speak to the university directly and if you don't want to present a formal complaint, you can also speak to the student unions about it. Because the student union is like an independent it's an independent unit or an independent entity from the university itself. So if you're uncomfortable because it was university staff, and this applies to sexism, this applies to homophobia, this applies to any sort of discrimination that you might experience. This applies to like ableism as well and like the abilities. If you experience any form of discrimination in a university context and you've experienced it from the university directly or from university staff or academic staff, then you can go to your student union and report the situation and they will help you deal with it. Yeah. Oh man, I'm Black Lives Matter is like still booming in the UK, which is quite good. And
Yeah.
I feel that people are educating themselves and using this time to like educate themselves, which is really important.
It sure is.
Yeah. So we have another question here. We're full of questions, full of
Um,
questions. We have another question here from Dina, asking if an international student has low grades, can he still apply to study in the UK?
oh
Ooh.
yeah, that's a good question. Definitely. You see, that's why I really like the UK way of education. They have different programs for different individuals based on your grade. So if you think your grade is so low, they understand that some grades are low. There's a program for you. If your grade is so high, there are numerous programs. So irrespective of your grade, as an international student, definitely you get a place here in the UK. It could be through some of the pathways, direct to the university. There's so much. They have the foundation, the pre-masters. They also have the top-up degree for student candidates from Nigeria. Maybe after you undergraduate, if you happen to finish with a really low grade, like a third class or the pass, and you're not so proud of that, you don't want to go to do the pre-masters, you can do a top-up. What that means, you just happen to join the final year class in the university year. Then you finish with a BSc from the UK. So depending on what you do in the final year, it could be a 2-1, a 2-2, depending on your performance. So they have different programs for international students with low grades. So yes, they can still apply.
Oh wow, that's a really good idea. I had never thought that an international student could actually apply for a top up in order to improve their grades. That is fantastic. That is a fantastic idea. How would I never thought about that? I'm thinking about like 10 cases that I have to fix where like that I'm sending everyone to pre-masters when I should be sending them to top ups. Sarf, I hope you're listening to this live so we can fix all of the students. Alpa, this fantastic. I think that like if you're an undergraduate as well, if you're having troubles, if you're struggling with your grades, do let us know. Fill in the form at okstudent.co.uk/form, or send us an email at info@okstudent.co.uk so that we can best assist you and find out if and where is the perfect program for you. No
Yeah.
matter if you have low or really high grades or just medium grades, we'll find it. I feel, what has been like the best part of being back in educational consultancy?
Oh my goodness. Like I've been away for like is it up to a year? No, not up to a year, but it's like forever, getting to meet students, different cases. Every student is unique in their own way, and what they want. In fact, there are some that they feel, okay, no, there's nothing for me. I don't know how to go from here. And you're the one to encourage them and let them know. You're not just telling them this is what is obtainable. Yeah, no, you shouldn't feel down. We can get you this. This can work. And you're like, are you for real? Can this work for me? And seeing it working. You see the excitement on the faces of the students. So it's a really, really exciting experience for me. So I can't really wait to start communicating with the students again. I've really missed out from it. Helping them to find their passion, and that plays a long way in fulfilling their career goal.
Exactly, exactly. I feel like if you like helping people, it's one of the best careers, isn't it? Where it's just
Definitely,
like
you know, you have this fulfillment, when you play this role in the life of people.
exactly, especially if the student really just doesn't know what they want or they think that they can't get to what they want. It's so great to like see their faces when you can actually get like to their dream course or their dream university.
Yes,
I always feel like it's the best and most rewarding part of this job.
definitely it is.
And in that, like we have here a question, Solomon has asked a question about how do you balance school and part-time jobs? And this relates to like you just come back to educational management. We're all super excited to have you. You're super excited to be here. But how is it going to be like when you have to balance these things?
Okay, for now, I'm on my placement here, so it means no school for now, just work. But during the academic section, as an international student, you have 20 hours per week to work during term time. But during holiday, you can work as much as you like. You don't have restriction. Yeah, it's just for the term time. The schedule with the UK system is fantastic. I go to school just 3 times in a week. As a master. So it's not like I'm going to school Monday to Friday. So just 3 times a week. And you still have your weekends. you have those days in between. So I think one very key thing here is to have a schedule. You need to have a rota on things you do. You can't just, okay, no, I'll do this today. No, you're going to mix things up. There's so much to learn in school. You don't want to miss out, and you need to work because you need to support yourself while you're here. So if you have a good schedule, a good rota that you follow, it's easy. It's not much. You may 3 times a day for school, 20 hours. I'm allowed to work for my visa. I still have weekends. Oh, wow, sure. It was not a struggle at all for me. It was good.
Exactly. I what did I want to say about this? Sorry, I kind of lost my track of thought here. But yeah, it's that. It's time management. That's it. Time management is so important when you start thinking about these things. And I feel like finding the thing that works for you in time management takes a really long time to like figure out if you work well with a calendar on your computer, if you work well with a planner like a notebook or something like that. Or I'm showing off my old planner basically because I've now moved to digital, but I will make the swap again potentially. And it's just, yeah, it's really about like being able to organize yourself. I feel like having a good space, and this relates back to what we were talking about in housing, having a good space that's close to uni and that's close to your job is like one of the best ways to save time and to balance both your time and your mood, because if you're in a good place and you feel comfortable, then you'll rest better and you'll also have more energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've like, that's the thing. And I feel like this relates a lot to budgeting as well, because if you're thinking about working, then your budgeting is completely different and you need to pay very much attention to how you're spending your money. So we have here a question about how expensive the UK is when you're coming from Nigeria. And how true is it? How much more expensive is it? Did you notice a really big difference when you came over?
Okay, yes, to be honest with you, I did notice that, especially when you try to convert the pounds to naira. Naira is our currency back home. So maybe I go to the store, I want to get something, and they tell me what the price is in pounds. First thing I try to do the conversion. Oh my God, how will I get this for this amount of naira, you know? So I had to slow down at that stage. In fact, I was even depriving myself from so many things I want to get. I'm like, no, I get this cheaper back home. Why I can't do this here? But you know, a friend of mine was like, Carol, stop this. This thing you're doing is not helping you. I tell people you get the pounds easier as you're spending it. If you work, you're getting it. So I think based on what you're getting and what you're spending, it balances off. But if you're trying to compare it back home, you're going to be hurting yourself. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, but just tell yourself, okay, yeah, I'm in a new system now. I'm the UK. This is pounds. This is what it is. You can't change that. You work, you're getting your pounds, which is more than enough to cover your needs. Yeah, except you want to be, maybe you spend too much. That is when you might have issues. But just remember, you're a student at this time. You need money to take care of yourself, meet your basic needs. It is more than sufficient. You work to get more than what you need. Yeah, so that shouldn't be a struggle.
Oh man, it's exactly that. I basically just had a flashback to my first year when, or even now, where the only reason for you to convert from your currency to pounds is when you calculate how much you earn, because it'll make it sound so much better when you're like, oh, I earned 600 pounds, but I actually earned 800 euros. It's like fantastic. Yeah, I feel like that's the only option to do it. And that's the thing, is like budgeting is really important, being aware of how much you're spending. I feel that students always have this tendency to like build this budgeting pyramid and just put fun everywhere and forget that they need to pay rent, that they need to buy food, that they need all of this.
Yeah,
And then it's like having money for emergencies as well, because imagine you need to
very
like
important.
suddenly, yeah, you smash your phone while on a night out, or something, you need to buy a new one. How are you going to do it? You either ask for money from your parents or you have some money saved up, which is like the ideal situation. I feel like that's really the ideal situation. Guys, if you have any questions, any last questions, do let us know in the comments below. If not, do contact us. And if you want to go to the UK and study, if you're thinking about applying, or if you just want to know more about your university of choice, if you've already got an offer and you need some information, contact us through okstudent.co.uk/form, or send us an email at info@okstudent.co.uk. And we'll give you an advisor like Karo here, or like our advisor in Coventry, or many others that we have, and that you'll keep seeing in these Q&As as well. Because if you tune in every week, by now you've met basically our entire team. We're going to have some more of the new colleagues joining us in our Q&As. What do you think of this experience, Karo? What are you going to say your colleagues like now that they're coming on next to you?
The new advisors.
Yeah, what are you going to tell them about this experience of doing the live?
Oh, it's awesome, because you're saying things that you've already experienced. So it's not like, okay, I have to go practice this or practice that. No, this is what you've experienced. So you don't need to rehearse or learn from anywhere to explain them, so it's fun. It's a good one.
Exactly. Like for all of you who don't know, we never rehearse these things. We just come online and then we go live, and this is what we do. Just talk about a series of things and answer all of your questions. So we have here a last question from Trish, asking if there are opportunities to learn a language on the side for fun or as part of your degree. Have you learned a language while being here, Karo? While on your degree?
I didn't intend learning any. So no,
I do not have time for this.
I don't have time for languages. In fact, I struggle to learn languages. Even back home, I just know the major language. I don't know any other one. So no time to learn language. But I'm sure for those that might be interested, it's a big
Exactly.
opportunity for them. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are tons of opportunities to learn languages for fun or as part of your degree. Some degrees have, and some universities have language modules that you can just add on to your degree. Others have conversational classes and peers who like converse with each other. So I know that, for example, at NTU on the Global Lounge, there's a conversation cafe where you can go to just to practice a language. But I, for example, I'm Portuguese, and during my course at NTU, I decided to pretend that I don't speak Spanish and get enrolled in a B-level Spanish class. So I had it was a level 2. It was a level 2 module. So I had excellent grades. My entire average went up just based on the fantastic grades I had in Spanish. So it's quite a good opportunity if you want to learn a language. We have another question quickly from Solomon, saying, what is your advice concerning to finance? How much should I budget for day-to-day expenses, accommodations, etc.? What do you think? It really depends on the area and the city, right?
Yes, it depends on the area. It's no one price for all. So it depends on the area, the city you're staying, how close you are to maybe your school, your place of work. So it depends on so many things. There's no definite answer for this. There are so
Exactly.
many factors, that comes into play when it comes to your expenses. But just so you know, Solomon, the UK government already put a fixed price for international students coming to the UK. So they're saying for a year, if you're staying outside London, you need to have £9,135, which should cover your accommodation, feeding, and transportation. So that's what they've just said. But for individuals, some people tend to spend lesser than that. Some persons don't pay on transport at all. Then if you're in London, yeah, I think £11,385. So it still depends on the city, location, and all that.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the thing. It really depends, and I would really advise you to just fill in the form at okstudent.co.uk/form, so that we can best assist you and figure out how you're going to live in the UK now that you have an offer from a university. Caro, this was a great conversation. I loved being here with you.
Same here. I can't believe the time is just running by so fast.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you so much for joining me today. And yeah, it was amazing. We have a training in half an hour as well, don't we?
Yeah, we
Oh
do.
my God. Such a busy week. Such a busy week.
Very, very busy.
All right. Thank you so much, Caro. And I will see you everyone next week. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us today and for all of your questions. Don't forget to follow us at OK Student on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and on our Medium blog. Name the social media, and we're there. We're on every single one of them. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Bye.